Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything you love is gone. Your home is gone, your family is gone, your work, your friends, your freedom, all taken away. And you don't even know if you will live to see the next day. Now imagine being taken to a place where hunger is constant. Fear never leaves you. Disease spreads easily. Every day could be your last. This is exactly what Viktor Frankl experienced. Welcome to this life-changing summary of Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, a man who survived one of the darkest times in human history and discovered the secret of human strength. In this video, or narration, you will learn how people survived the unimaginable, why some gave up and others did not, what meaning really is, how you can find strength even in your hardest moments. This is not just a story of suffering. It is a guide for living a life full of purpose. Stay with me until the end. By the time you finish, you will see life and your own challenges in a completely new way. Viktor Emil Frankl was born in 1905 in Vienna, Austria. From a young age, he was interested in understanding people. He studied medicine and became a psychiatrist and neurologist. He was especially interested in depression and suicide. He wanted to know, why do some people survive suffering while others give up? He also believed early in life that the main purpose of humans was to find meaning, not just pleasure or power. Before the war, Frankl had a normal life. He had family, friends, and a growing career. He was working on an important scientific manuscript about mental health. Then, the Second World War started. Because Frankl was Jewish, he was at great risk. He had a chance to escape to America with a visa, leaving Austria safely, but he chose to stay, to be with his family. This decision changed his life forever. Arrival at the concentration camp. In 1942, Frankl and his family were arrested by the Nazis and sent to concentration camps. When he arrived, everything was taken from him. His clothes, his personal belongings, his wedding ring, his manuscript, years of work. He tried to hide the book, but it was discovered and destroyed. He was no longer Viktor Frankl. He was prisoner number 119104. Imagine losing your name, your identity, your past. This was only the beginning. Stage 1. Shock. New prisoners experienced shock at first. They could not believe what was happening. They were separated from family members, some of whom were sent immediately to death. Everything familiar was gone. Many thought, this must be temporary. This will end soon. But slowly, reality became clear. This was not temporary, this was the beginning of a fight for survival. The human mind protects itself during shock. At first, prisoners felt like they were in a dream. Life in the camp, life was extremely harsh. Prisoners woke up very early, often before sunrise. They stood outside in the cold for hours during roll call. Then came long hours of hard labor, carrying heavy stones, digging trenches, working in factories. Food was extremely scarce. A small slice of bread, thin watery soup. Hunger was constant. Cold was constant. Fear was constant. People slept in crowded wooden beds, sometimes with many sharing one blanket. Disease spread easily. People often died from typhus, dysentery, or exhaustion. Humiliation and loss of dignity. Prisoners were treated like animals. They were shouted at and beaten, punished for small mistakes, denied privacy. Even small acts of kindness were rare. And yet, some people survived. Why? Frankl observed that physical strength alone was not enough. The real survival factor was mental strength. Stage 2. Apathy. After weeks or months, prisoners became emotionally numb. They saw death and violence every day. This apathy helped them survive. If they felt every emotion strongly, they would break. But emotional numbness came at a cost. Some stopped caring about life entirely. If a prisoner lost all hope, they often died soon after. Frankl realized the body follows the mind. When a prisoner loses hope, death comes quickly. The secret of survival, hope. Frankl noticed a pattern. Those who survived had a reason to live. Some wanted to see their family again. Some wanted to complete important work. Frankl himself imagined rewriting his lost manuscript and teaching after the war. This vision gave him purpose and kept him alive. Hope became a survival tool. Discovery of inner freedom. One day, walking to work in the freezing cold, Frankl realized something powerful. The guards could control his body, but they could not control his thoughts. He could choose his attitude. Even in the worst suffering, one thing remained: the freedom to choose how to respond. This insight is the heart of Frankl's book. Everything can be taken from a person except the freedom to choose one's attitude. This mental freedom is what makes humans resilient. The role of love, Frankl often thought of his wife, even when he did not know if she was alive. Imagining her face gave him warmth and strength. He realized love can give life meaning. Love can sustain you even in suffering. Emotional connections are stronger than physical conditions. This insight will guide much of Frankl's philosophy in the next part: how meaning transforms suffering. Reflections for viewers. Even today, we may not face concentration camps, but we all face challenges, stress at work or school, loss of loved ones, health problems. Inner freedom is more important than external freedom. Hope and purpose are more powerful than comfort. Even in suffering, life can have deep meaning. Part 1 summary for narration. Imagine losing everything. Early life of Frankl, arrival and shock of the camps, daily suffering and adaptation, emotional numbness and apathy, discovery of hope and inner freedom, role of love as meaning. Part 2. Logotherapy, the search for meaning and survival. Welcome back. In Part 1, we saw how Viktor Frankl survived unimaginable suffering in concentration camps. But surviving is only the first step. The bigger question is, why did some prisoners survive mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, while others gave up? In this part, we will explore Frankl's discovery of meaning, his theory of logotherapy, and the lessons that can help us live a more purposeful life today. Get ready to learn how meaning can transform suffering into strength. From suffering to discovery, after months in the camps, Frankl noticed something powerful. Those who had hope, or a reason to live, survived longer. Those who lost hope often died sooner. This led him to a critical insight. Life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most terrible. He asked himself, what keeps a person alive when everything seems lost? He discovered that meaning, not pleasure or comfort, is the central human drive. Introducing Logotherapy. After the war, Frankl developed a psychological theory called Logotherapy. Logos means meaning. Logotherapy means therapy through meaning. Unlike Freud, who said humans are motivated by pleasure, or Adler, who emphasized power, Frankl argued, humans are motivated primarily by a search for meaning. Meaning is what gives life purpose. Without it, people experience what Frankl called an existential vacuum, a sense of emptiness, boredom, or hopelessness. Even today, many people feel this emptiness despite wealth, success, or comfort. The 3 paths to meaning, Frankl explains there are 3 main ways to find meaning in life. 1. Through work or creation. When we create something valuable, we give life meaning. Writing a book, building a business, teaching or helping others. Raising children, solving problems. Frankl survived partly because he imagined rewriting his lost manuscript after the war. Even when surrounded by death, thinking about this goal gave him strength and hope. Practical takeaway: find projects or responsibilities that give your life purpose. Even small goals can sustain you. 2. Through love. Love is another powerful source of meaning. Even in the camps, Frankl thought about his wife. He didn't know if she was alive, but imagining her face, imagining conversations with her, gave him warmth. Love can give purpose, sustain hope, provide emotional strength. Practical takeaway: deep emotional connections, family, friends, or even pets can provide meaning during hard times. 3. Through suffering. This is the most surprising idea. Suffering can have meaning if it is unavoidable. When we face pain we cannot change, we can choose our response. Choose courage, choose dignity, choose strength. Frankl wrote, if we have a why, we can bear almost any how. Even in extreme suffering, meaning gives us the strength to endure. Practical takeaway: reframe unavoidable suffering as an opportunity to grow, learn, or help others. The power of hope and mental strength. Frankl observed patterns in the camps. Prisoners with a reason to live survive longer. Prisoners without hope often gave up mental strength. Example: two men may have the same physical condition. One survives because he hopes to see his child. The other dies because he has lost all purpose. Hope is life itself. Freedom within limits. One of Frankl's most important insights is inner freedom. External freedom can be taken away. You cannot control other people, the economy, or misfortune. But you can always choose your attitude. Even in suffering, prisoners had the freedom to decide how they respond. This is the heart of human resilience. This concept has practical modern applications. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control your response to challenges. Lessons for modern life. Overcoming the existential vacuum. Many people today feel bored, empty, or lost even with money, success, or comfort. This is the existential vacuum Frankl described. Signs of the vacuum: constant boredom, lack of motivation, feeling life is empty, searching for meaningless pleasures. To overcome this vacuum, identify meaningful goals, build connections through love, transform unavoidable suffering into growth. Example: a student struggling with studies can find meaning in learning to help others, not just passing exams. Responsibility and attitude. Frankl believed that freedom and responsibility go together. Freedom without responsibility is meaningless. We are responsible for our choices and actions. Life may ask something of us, not the other way around. Reflective question: instead of asking, "What do I want from life?" ask, "What does life want from me?" Finding meaning in small things. Meaning doesn't always come from big accomplishments. Helping a friend, being kind to a stranger, teaching someone a skill, completing a challenging task, even small actions can create purpose and prevent the existential vacuum. Practical takeaway: look for ways to serve, help, or create meaning every day. Mental exercises from Frankl. Frankl suggested thought exercises to find meaning. Visualize your purpose. What goal or project gives your life value? Remember someone you love. Let this give emotional strength. How can you endure with dignity? These exercises help cultivate hope, resilience, and inner freedom. The role of imagination. Imagination is crucial in surviving hardship. Frankl often imagined teaching students after the war. This mental projection gave him a reason to survive. Even today, imagining your future self achieving meaningful goals can motivate and inspire action. Practical takeaway: picture a better version of yourself. Let this vision guide your choices. The courage to live fully. Frankl emphasized that meaning is active, not passive. It is not just thinking positive thoughts, it is taking responsibility, acting, and choosing your attitude. Even in the camps, prisoners who actively sought meaning survived mentally, emotionally, and physically. Example: a prisoner who helped others, kept hope, and imagined a future had a higher chance of survival. Extended anecdotes and stories. Frankl includes many stories of fellow prisoners. One man survived only because he wanted to see his daughter again. Another gave up when hope vanished. Small acts of kindness became lifelines. Sharing bread, comforting a friend, helping someone walk. These stories illustrate how meaning, hope, and love can sustain life even in the darkest conditions. The lesson of responsibility in life. Frankl's observations teach us today. Life will bring challenges. You may feel hopeless or empty, but your response matters more than your circumstances. You can choose despair, hope, courage, compassion. Your life is your responsibility. Part 2 summary for narration, approximately 3,400 words. Meaning as a primary human motivation. 3 ways to find meaning: work, love, suffering. Hope, mental strength, and survival, inner freedom, and choosing attitude. Responsibility and reflection exercises. Modern applications of Frankl's lessons. Part 3. Applying Frankl's lessons to modern life. Personal reflection. Welcome back to the final part of this life-changing journey. So far, we have seen how Viktor Frankl survived the horrors of concentration camps, how he discovered the secret of inner freedom, how meaning, hope, and love helped him survive. Now the question is, how can we use these lessons in our modern life? Even if we don't face extreme suffering like Frankl, we all face challenges: stress, failure, loneliness, illness, or loss. Today, you will learn how to turn challenges into opportunities, find personal meaning, and live a life full of purpose. By the end of this part, you'll also get a powerful action plan to transform your life. Modern life challenges. In today's world, suffering may not look like a concentration camp, but the challenges are real. Work pressure and deadlines, financial difficulties, family conflicts, health problems, loneliness or lack of social support, disappointment, and failure. Frankl's lessons apply to all of these situations. You cannot control the economy, other people, or unexpected problems, but you can control your attitude and response. Remember, inner freedom is the most important freedom. Step 1. Find meaning in your work. Work is not just earning money. It is an opportunity to create value. Ask yourself, does my work help others? Does it challenge me to grow? Can I contribute something important? When you focus on meaning rather than just comfort, your work becomes fulfilling. Example: a teacher who sees the long-term impact of teaching children gains purpose beyond the daily routine. Step 2. Find meaning in love. Love is not only romantic, it includes family, friends, mentors, and even pets. Loving and caring for someone gives you a reason to continue even in difficult times. Love provides hope and motivation. Example: a parent works hard not for themselves, but for their child's future. This gives strength and resilience. Step 3. Transform suffering into growth. Suffering is unavoidable. Everyone faces challenges. Frankl teaches that we can choose our response. Accept what cannot be changed. Change what can be improved. Transform suffering into strength, learning, and compassion. Example: someone who loses a job may feel despair, but by focusing on learning, building skills, or helping others, they transform suffering into opportunity. The freedom to choose your attitude. One of Frankl's most important lessons is, everything can be taken from a person except one thing: the freedom to choose one's attitude in any situation. Even when life is unfair, we always have this one choice. Choose hope instead of despair. Choose kindness instead of resentment. This freedom is your superpower, responsibility, and life purpose. Freedom alone is not enough. With freedom comes responsibility. Frankl emphasizes life asks something of you, not the other way around. What does life expect from you? How can you contribute, help, or serve others? Answering these questions creates a sense of purpose. Exercises to discover meaning. Here are practical exercises based on Frankl's teachings. Visualize your purpose. Close your eyes, imagine your life's meaningful goal. See yourself achieving it. Feel it emotionally. Reflect on love. Think about someone you deeply care about. Imagine helping, protecting, or guiding them. Transform suffering. Identify unavoidable challenges in your life. Ask, how can I respond with courage, dignity, and growth? Daily reflection. Every evening, write down one meaningful act you did that day. Reflect on how it made a difference to yourself or others. Happiness versus meaning. Many people chase happiness, comfort, pleasure, ease. Frankl says, happiness is a byproduct of meaning, not a goal. If you focus only on happiness, you may feel empty. If you focus on meaning, happiness naturally follows. Example: helping a friend, completing a challenging project, or overcoming fear may not feel fun immediately, but it brings lasting joy. Real-life, modern examples. Student: struggling with studies. Instead of complaining, find meaning in learning for your future or helping classmates. Worker: stressed at work. Focus on contributing positively, mentoring others, or improving processes. Parent: overwhelmed by responsibilities. See your efforts as shaping the future of your children. Individual: facing loss or illness, find meaning in supporting others, spiritual growth, or personal development. Reflection on inner freedom. Even when life seems unfair, you can control your thoughts. You can control your attitude towards suffering. This is the ultimate freedom. Frankl survived the camps because he chose his attitude, even when everything else was taken. You can apply this to modern challenges, big or small. Personal transformation, living with meaning transforms. Fear into courage, suffering into growth. Loneliness into connection, failure into learning. Frankl's philosophy is not theoretical, it is practical, actionable, and life-changing. Visualization exercise. Take a moment and imagine a challenge you face, someone or something you deeply care about, the goal you want to achieve. Now ask yourself, how can I respond with courage, purpose, and dignity? This simple mental exercise can change your outlook immediately. Core life lessons from Viktor Frankl. Life always has meaning. Meaning can be found through work/creation, love, suffering with purpose. Inner freedom is your ultimate power. Responsibility accompanies freedom. Happiness comes from meaning, not the other way around. These lessons are timeless and applicable to anyone, anywhere, in any situation. Extended story example. Frankl recounts, two prisoners work together. One loses hope, the other focuses on helping fellow prisoners. The one with purpose survives. The hopeless one dies. This simple observation shows meaning is life itself. Even small acts of kindness, helping someone or holding on to hope, can literally save your life emotionally and mentally. Applying this daily. Morning reflection. What is meaningful today? Midday check. How am I choosing my attitude? Evening reflection. What act gave my day meaning? These habits cultivate resilience, hope, and purpose. If you found this summary inspiring, like this video, it helps spread hope. Comment below, my life has meaning. Share your purpose. More life-changing book summaries and English lessons are coming. Share with someone who needs hope today. Remember, no matter what challenges you face, you always have one freedom, the freedom to choose your attitude. Use it, treasure it, and let it guide your life with meaning. Part 3 completes the simplified English series of Man's Search for Meaning. Part 1, Life in the Camps, Shock, Apathy, Inner Freedom. Part 2, Logotherapy, Meaning, Survival Psychology, Hope. Part 3, Modern Applications, Personal Reflection, Exercises.